Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
My name is Catherine, and today we're talking all about cars in this intermediate level lesson.
That's right. We have a little bit of problems with our car, and we're going to talk about some possible solutions to these car problems we have. So why don't we just listen to the dialogue today? We have no words on vocabulary preview, so let's jump right into the dialogue and listen for the first time.
Car Trouble Center, how may I help you?
My car won't start. Stupid old car.
Hold on. Before you kick your car, let's go through some possible problems.
Fine.
Okay, first of all, can you turn the key in the ignition?
Yeah, I'm here with my friend, and he thinks it may be the spark plug or the starter motor.
Those are possible problems, but tell me, when you turn the key, do you hear the starter motor crank?
Yeah, it sounds like it usually does when I start the car, but nothing else happens. The engine won't start. Should I maybe press the accelerator?
No. If you step on the accelerator pedal, you can flood the carburetor and your car will never start.
So what do you think it is?
I know this may seem like a silly question, but does your car have gasoline?
Yeah. Right. I got the car started. Thanks for your help. I told you to fill the tank.
Okay, so this dialogue reminds me a lot of a radio show in America called Car Talk. And the hosts of the show, like Marco and I today, they talk about how to solve problems, and they ask you questions to find out what the problem is. So it's a really helpful show, but let's take a look at some of the phrases and words that you heard so we can understand what exactly is going on here.
Language takeaway.
All right, so today on Language Takeaway, we have 5 words, and they're all very specific to the car. So why don't we start with the first word? It's a noun, and we are talking about the ignition.
Ignition. The ignition is the first step to... The ignition is a part of the first step to starting a car. Basically, under the wheel of the car, the steering wheel, there's usually a silver hole where you can put the key in. Mm-hmm. This is the ignition. It starts the car.
Exactly. So you put the key in the ignition and you can start the car. And to start the car means to turn it on, to get it going.
That's right. And so ignition is the first step. Starting the ignition.
Okay, so moving on to our next word, we have a word that's formed by 2 different parts. A spark plug. A spark plug.
Spark plug. So a spark plug is an electrical object. Basically, this has to do with electricity and the way that the car gets energy.
Mm-hmm. So it's called a spark plug because it creates a spark, which is a brief burst of current. So this basically creates a small spark of electricity, and this makes the gasoline ignite, so that's what makes the car go.
Right, so energy is taken from the battery to start a small fire, basically, so which then starts the engine. Spark plug, it's a very small but very important part of a car.
Very good. And moving on, we have the starter motor.
Okay, to be very honest with you, I'm not a car person, so I'm not sure what the starter motor is. Maybe you can explain this to us, Marco.
Okay, so basically your car runs on gasoline, right? Mm-hmm. So you put your key into the ignition and you turn it, right? This in turn sends energy to this little motor called a starter motor. And that basically gets the car going by means of an electrical current before the gasoline ignites. So it's like a little electrical motor that makes the spark plug ignite and causes some of the mechanical parts like the pistons move within the car, and then it turns on.
Okay, so again, this is all about the beginning of when we turn the key in the ignition, what happens. This is a starter motor. So once we've turned the car on, we've turn the key in the ignition, we have to worry about giving the car gas. So we can control gas with the accelerator pedal.
Mm-hmm. So by saying you want to give the car gas is you want to give it more energy, more power, or less energy, right?
Right. So if I want to go very fast, I push my foot down on the accelerator, and the further down it goes, the faster I move.
Exactly. So that's the accelerator. Now, the opposite of making the car go would make the car stop, and those are called
Brakes.
brakes.
So on the left, we have a brake pedal, and on the right, we have an accelerator pedal.
Very good. Okay, and talking about acceleration and gas, we have a very specific mechanical object, and that's called a carburetor.
Okay, again, carburetor. I know that this is under the hood of my car, but I'm not sure what it does. Let's talk about this.
All right, so it's not very common to have a carburetor anymore in new cars, but basically it's a small device that controls the flow of gasoline from the gas tank to the engine. And basically what it does, it makes the gasoline into a type of very thin mist. And that's what that way the gasoline can ignite easier. So the further down you push your foot on the accelerator, the wider the little gap or the hole will open on the carburetor, and that way your car will go faster.
All right, very good. So that's all we've got for language takeaway today, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a second with Fluency Builder.
Car Trouble Center, how may I help you?
My car won't start. Stupid old car.
Hold on. Before you kick your car, let's go through some possible problems.
Fine.
Okay, first of all, can you turn the key in the ignition?
Yeah, I'm here with my friend, and he thinks it may be the spark plug or the starter motor.
Those are possible problems, but tell me, when you turn the key, do you hear the starter motor crank?
Yeah, it sounds like it usually does when I start the car, but nothing else happens. The engine won't start. Should I maybe press the accelerator?
No. If you step on the accelerator pedal, you can flood the carburetor and your car will never start.
So what do you think it is?
I know this may seem like a silly question, but does your car have gasoline?
Yeah. Right. I got the car started. Thanks for your help. I told you to fill the tank.
All right, we're back. So now why don't we take a look at 4 key phrases that we have for you on Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
Okay, this first phrase. So you heard the phrase at the beginning, Car Trouble Center. But Car Trouble Center, that's maybe the name of a fake company that we use. But the phrase car trouble is very, very common.
So if you say, I'm having car trouble or I had some car trouble, what does that mean?
That means my car broke.
Okay. So
But you don't say my car broke. This is one thing that can't break because normally you say I'm having trouble or I'm having car trouble because a part of my car is not working.
Okay. So instead of saying I'm having problems with my car or my car broke, you just say I had car trouble or I'm having car trouble.
That's right. So this is a really good excuse for coming to work late. You can say, oh, I'm so sorry. I was having car trouble this morning.
Right. So any type of problems with your car can be considered car trouble. Flat tire, no battery, etc.
Etc. Yes.
Okay. Now moving on, we have a very interesting verb here. We heard when the guy was talking about the starter motor, he said, do you hear the starter motor crank?
Okay, to crank. So this is a very interesting verb. It can also be a noun. It's a sound, okay, but it's also a movement. So when something turns around in a circle, thunk, 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 maybe you think of a metal wheel, thunk, thunk, that's a crank. So sometimes we talk about those old cars, 1910s, 1920s, the first Ford cars. You had to crank them in the front. You had to actually turn with your hand a wheel to make the car start.
Right.
So this is a crank.
Exactly. You can hear this in your car. Maybe if your car doesn't have gasoline, you hear the tick, 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 tick. That's the starter motor cranking.
So it's going around in circles, trying to create energy.
Exactly. And now when the guy was talking about the accelerator and he was talking about the carburetor, he said, no, don't step on that pedal because you can flood the carburetor. So to flood.
Okay. To flood. This is a verb. Maybe you've heard the word flood before as a noun, but this means to fill something with liquid, with gasoline, with water, with milk. So to flood something is to fill it up with a liquid.
Okay, very good. So you can flood a dam, for example, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Or in this case, you can flood a carburetor, which means it won't work because it's all wet.
Okay, very good. And the last phrase that we have very handy when you're talking about cars is to fill the tank.
Okay, this is always a problem at my house because I hate to fill the tank.
Really?
And so, yeah, whenever my car's in the driveway and someone in my family asks if they can borrow it, I say, yeah, sure. And then obviously an hour later they come back and say, why don't you ever fill the tank? It's empty. You have no gas. And I say, well, I hate to fill the car with gas. And so I always have an empty tank. So I never fill the tank.
Okay, so that's what it means. To fill the tank is to have it full of gasoline.
Right, to put gasoline into your gasoline tank.
Okay, very good. Why don't we go back and listen to the dialogue for the last time, and we'll be back to talk a little bit more.
Car Trouble Center, how may I help you?
My car won't start. Stupid old car.
Hold on. Before you kick your car, let's go through some possible problems.
Fine.
Okay, first of all, can you turn the key in the ignition?
Yeah, I'm here with my friend, and he thinks it may be the spark plug or the starter motor.
Those are possible problems, but tell me, when you turn the key, do you hear the starter motor crank?
Yeah, it sounds like it usually does when I start the car, but nothing else happens. The engine won't start. Should I maybe press the accelerator?
No. If you step on the accelerator pedal, you can flood the carburetor and your car will never start.
So what do you think it is?
I know this may seem like a silly question, but does your car have gasoline?
Yeah. Right. I got the car started. Thanks for your help. I told you to fill the tank.
All right, we're back. So, talking about cars and car trouble, I understand, for example, in some countries, when you're getting a driver's license, you're forced or obliged to learn a little bit of car mechanics. You have to learn about the engine or how to change your tire and basic things like this.
That's a brilliant idea. In America, you don't have to know how to fix your car. You have to know how to pay someone to fix your car. But basically, we only learn the rules of the road. So the signs and the basic rules.
Really?
Yeah, but I think it would be very helpful to know how to fix a tire or how to change the oil in your car. I mean, is this a requirement in Ecuador?
Yeah. When
Really?
you're getting your driver's permit, your driver's license, you have to take a course which shows you the mechanics of the car, first aid course, and also basic road rules and all that stuff. But basically, because it can be something very simple, like for example, they show you where the battery is, where you can check the oil and basic things like this. So maybe the little cable from the battery just came loose, and that's why your car won't start.
Yeah.
So instead of you waiting for 2 hours until somebody comes and picks you up or a tow truck, you can just check very briefly basic things that can maybe go wrong in your car, and you can just go on your way.
That's awesome. I
Yeah.
had my dad for that.
You would
My
tell
dad
your
said, I'm not going to have a little girl who doesn't know how to change a tire or who doesn't know how to check the oil levels. So, yeah, but not everybody has a parent who will teach them.
Right. No, and it's very handy because, for example, you get a flat tire. And sometimes, cars can be a little bit tricky. The wheel nuts are sometimes covered by a plastic cover, so you don't know how to take it off. There's a special tool for that. Or the jack. Sometimes the jack is not the normal one that you have to pump up and down. It's a little one that you have to turn a lever and you have to do this. So it's very, very useful to know these things.
Absolutely. I'm curious to know if our listeners out there have experience with cars and car mechanics. And if you have this rule, like Marco says they have in Ecuador, about learning about cars before you actually get your driver's license.
Yeah.
Let us know on our website, englishpod.com. We hope to see you there.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Bye. The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
Look at something in a careful way. Go through. A device to start up the car. Ignition. Electrical device that ignites the gas by electric. Spark plug. An electric motor for starting an engine. Starter motor. To start an engine, motor, etc. Crank. The device which helps cars get running. Engine. A pedal that controls the throttle valve. Accelerator. Mixes air with gasoline vapor prior to explosion. Carburetor.
Let's try that faster.
An electric motor for starting an engine. Starter motor. A pedal that controls the throttle valve. Accelerator. Look at something in a careful way. Go through. A device to start up the car. Ignition. To start an engine, motor, etc. Crank. Electrical device that ignites the gas by electric. Spark plug. The device which helps cars get running. Engine. Mixes air with gasoline vapor prior to explosion. Carburetor.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Ignition. He turned the key in the ignition and the truck roared to life. Ignition. His new car has a keyless ignition system. Ignition. I put the keys into the boat's ignition switch and turned it on. Spark plug. The mechanic took a look at my car and said that the spark plug needed to be replaced. Spark plug. Tens of thousands of volts travel down the spark plug to ignite the fuel. Spark plug. I checked everything, including the spark plug, and there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with your car. Starter motor. The motor turned the crank, which started the machine. Starter motor. The starter motor in my car is defective. Starter motor. I ripped the cord on the boat's motor and started to travel across the lake. Crank. In the olden days, people had to manually crank the engine for the car to start. Crank. Nowadays, a motor cranks the engine in order to start the car. Crank. This time, the starter motor finally cranked when I turned the key. Engine. Can you start the engine about 5 minutes before we're supposed to leave? Engine. The engine sputtered and then it died. Engine. I can hear my engine straining in its old age.
The place where English learners like you come to improve your language skills in a natural, engaging way. I'm your host, and today we're diving into a topic that literally affects every single person listening to this podcast: how we choose to spend our weekends. Now you might think, what's so interesting about talking about weekends? But here's the thing. The way people spend their free time tells us so much about their values, their priorities, and who they really are as people. Whether you're someone who loves adventure and exploration, or someone who cherishes quiet moments at home, your weekend routine is uniquely yours. And that's what makes this conversation so fascinating. So stick with me today as we explore the different ways people around the world spend their precious weekend time. And I promise you'll not only improve your English, but also get some great ideas for your own weekends. Let me start by painting you a picture of what a typical weekend looks like for many people. For some of us, Saturday morning is absolutely sacred. We wake up without an alarm. We might take our time with breakfast. Maybe we brew that perfect cup of coffee or tea while we read the news or scroll through our phones. There's no rush, no deadline, and honestly, that's the beauty of it. The stress that builds up throughout the week just melts away in those first few hours of freedom. But then, as the morning progresses, people choose very different paths. Some individuals are early risers who immediately jump into their weekend projects. They might head to the gym for an intense workout, or they might tackle that home improvement project that's been sitting on their to-do list for 3 months. There's something really satisfying about checking off tasks when you have the luxury of time on your hands. However, not everyone follows this pattern. Many people, especially those who have demanding jobs during the week, view their weekends as a time for complete rest and recovery. These individuals might spend Saturday morning sleeping in, then gradually transition into leisure activities. They might meet friends for brunch, a meal that's become increasingly popular in urban areas worldwide. Brunch combines breakfast and lunch, and it's often a social event where friends catch up over coffee and food for hours. It's not just about eating, it's about connection and conversation. These brunches typically happen between 10 and 2 in the afternoon, and they give people a chance to catch up with friends they haven't seen during their busy work weeks. The afternoon part of the weekend is when things get really interesting and diverse. Some people are passionate about outdoor activities. If you live near mountains, you might spend your Saturday afternoon hiking, enjoying nature, and getting exercise all at the same time. Hiking has become incredibly popular because it combines physical activity with mental relaxation. You're breathing in fresh air, you're surrounded by natural beauty, and your mind has space to wander and process thoughts. Other people might prefer water activities. They could go to the beach, go swimming, or if they're really adventurous, try surfing or paddleboarding. Living near water and having access to aquatic activities is something that many people consider a major quality of life factor. Then there are people who prefer more urban weekend activities. They might explore their city, visit museums, check out new restaurants, or go shopping in areas they usually don't have time to visit during the week. Sports and fitness are huge weekend activities for many people. Whether it's joining a volleyball game with friends, playing football, going to yoga classes, or cycling with a local bike club, these activities are social and physical at the same time. People often meet their friends through these activities, and it creates a sense of community. I know someone who joined a running group 3 years ago, and now half of her social circle comes from that running community. It shows how weekend activities can really shape your life and your relationships. Now, let's talk about people who are more introverted or who simply prefer quieter weekend activities. These individuals might spend their Saturday afternoon with a good book, completely immersed in a fictional world, or learning something new from a nonfiction book. Reading is one of those activities that's become increasingly precious because we live in such a noisy, connected world. When you really sit down with a book, you're disconnecting from notifications, from emails, from the constant buzz of daily life. It's meditation for some people. Others might use their afternoon for creative pursuits. They could be writing, painting, playing music, or crafting. These activities provide a different kind of satisfaction than work does because there's usually no external pressure or deadline. You're doing it purely for the joy of it. Home improvement and DIY projects are another massive weekend activity, especially for homeowners. Saturday afternoon might find someone painting a bedroom, building new shelves, landscaping their garden, or fixing something that's been broken for months. There's an undeniable satisfaction that comes from looking at something you've built or fixed with your own hands. It's tangible progress, and you can see the results immediately. People often say that completing a home project gives them a sense of accomplishment that they don't get in their regular jobs. Cooking is another incredibly popular weekend activity, and it's more than just preparing food. Many people view cooking as a form of art and self-expression. They might spend hours preparing an elaborate meal, trying a new recipe they found on a food blog, or recreating a dish they had at a restaurant. Cooking for friends or family brings together creativity, nutrition, and hospitality. If you have kids, weekends often involve family activities. Parents might take their children to sports activities, to the park, to museums, or to amusement parks. Weekend parenting is a whole different ball game from weekday parenting because you generally have more time and energy to be present and engaged. Saturday evening typically brings another shift in how people spend their time. This is when social activities really kick into high gear for many people. Going out to dinner with friends or a romantic partner is a classic Saturday night activity. Restaurant culture has become so diverse that people have endless options. You could go to a fancy fine dining restaurant where each course is a carefully prepared work of art, or you could go to a casual taco stand where you eat standing up at a high table. Either way, it's about sharing food and conversation with people you care about. Movies and entertainment venues are also huge Saturday night destinations. People go to cinemas to watch the latest releases, they go to theaters to watch live performances, or they go to comedy clubs to laugh at stand-up comedians. Nightlife is another aspect of weekend culture that varies enormously depending on age and personal preference. Younger people might go to nightclubs or bars to dance and socialize with friends. Live music venues are also incredibly popular. People love experiencing music in person with a crowd of others who share their enthusiasm. Concert going has become a significant weekend activity for music fans, and major cities often have multiple concerts happening on any given weekend. Some people attend multiple concerts in a weekend, following their favorite bands or discovering new artists. But as evening progresses and night falls, a significant portion of the population shifts to indoor activities. This is where television and streaming services become central to the weekend. Many people have shows they're actively watching, and weekends are when they catch up on episodes. Watching shows together with family members or roommates can become a weekend tradition. People gather, they order food, they settle in for multiple hours of entertainment. It's become such a normalized part of weekend culture that people often plan their weekends around when new episodes of popular shows come out. Gaming is another massive weekend activity that encompasses both digital and traditional games. People might play video games, board games with friends, card games, or participate in gaming tournaments. Gaming culture has exploded in recent years, and it's no longer something only teenagers do. Adults of all ages are serious gamers, and they often spend entire weekends in gaming marathons with friends online or in person. The social aspect of gaming is huge. It's a way to connect with people who share your interests, whether they live next door or on the other side of the world. Sunday mornings present a completely different rhythm for most people. If Saturday is about getting things done and having fun, Sunday morning is often about slowing down and preparing for the week ahead. Many people have weekend rituals for Sunday morning. They might have a leisurely breakfast with family, attend religious services if that's part of their practice, or spend time in meditation or yoga. Sunday morning is often when people do their meal planning and grocery shopping for the coming week. This might seem like a chore, but many people find it therapeutic to plan their meals, to think about nutrition and health, and to shop for fresh ingredients. Sunday is also a major day for family time. Extended families often gather for Sunday meals. Grandparents, parents, children, aunts, uncles, and cousins might come together for lunch or dinner. These family gatherings can be incredibly important for maintaining relationships and passing down family traditions. The meals themselves often feature traditional dishes that have been in the family for generations. For many people around the world, Sunday family meals are sacred, something that's non-negotiable even if it means rearranging other plans. However, it's also important to acknowledge that not everyone celebrates or observes weekends in the same way. Some people work on weekends, which means their weekend might be Tuesday and Wednesday, or it might be scattered throughout the week. Nurses, doctors, police officers, retail workers, and many others don't have traditional weekends. This creates different challenges for their lifestyle and their relationships. They often have to be intentional about scheduling social time and family time, and they sometimes feel disconnected from mainstream weekend culture. The cultural aspect of weekends is also really interesting. In some countries and cultures, weekend activities are very different from what I've been describing. Some places have strong siesta traditions where afternoons are reserved for rest. Other cultures have very specific weekend practices that are tied to religion, tradition, or climate. In some countries, the weekend might be Friday and Saturday instead of Saturday and Sunday. In Scandinavian countries, people place huge emphasis on nature during weekends because winter is so long and dark. In Mediterranean countries, the pace is often slower and more relaxed. Work-life balance is a huge topic in the modern world, and our weekend activities are central to that discussion. The way we spend our weekends can either help us recover from work stress, or it can sometimes increase our stress levels. If you spend your weekend working or worrying about work, you're not really getting that mental break that your brain needs. This is why many people are trying to be more intentional about their weekends. They're creating boundaries between work time and personal time. Another interesting trend is how technology has changed weekend activities. Social media means that people often document and share their weekend activities. This can be fun, but it also means there's sometimes pressure to do something photo-worthy or impressive enough to share. Some people find that constantly thinking about capturing moments for social media actually prevents them from being fully present and enjoying their weekend. Others have found online communities that enhance their weekend activities, like online gaming groups or people who share hobby interests across the internet. The COVID-19 pandemic also changed how many people spend their weekends. It forced people to find activities they could do at home or outdoors, and it made many people reevaluate what actually matters to them. Some people discovered that they love activities they never would have tried otherwise. Others discovered that they value in-person social connection more than they realized. The post-pandemic world has seen people being more intentional about their weekend choices and less willing to do things they don't actually enjoy just because it's expected. Wellness and health consciousness have also become bigger factors in how people spend weekends. Many people use weekends to reset their health habits. They might do a deep cleaning of their home, do meal prep for healthy eating during the week, or schedule time for exercise. The wellness industry has exploded with weekend activities like yoga retreats, meditation workshops, and wellness spas. People are increasingly viewing their weekends as an opportunity to invest in their physical and mental health. Let's also talk about the practical side of weekends. Many people spend their weekends managing household responsibilities. Laundry, cleaning, grocery shopping, paying bills, organizing closets, these aren't exciting, but they're essential parts of how most people spend their weekends. Some people try to front-load these tasks on Saturday morning so they have the rest of the weekend free, while others distribute them throughout the 2 days. Families with children often spend significant weekend time driving kids to various activities, managing schedules, and handling all the logistics that come with raising children. The concept of self-care has become increasingly important in how people think about their weekends. Self-care might mean getting a massage, taking a long bath, journaling, going to the therapist, or simply resting without guilt. In our always-on culture, giving yourself permission to do nothing is actually revolutionary for some people. There's no productivity, no achievement, no external validation, just you taking care of yourself. This is especially important for people who have high-stress jobs or who are naturally inclined toward overworking. Travel is another major weekend activity, though it requires more planning and resources than daily activities. Weekend getaways have become increasingly popular because people don't want to use their vacation days or because they want to maximize their days off. Some people are weekend warriors who constantly plan trips to nearby cities or natural areas. This keeps life exciting and prevents the monotony of doing the same thing every weekend. However, constant travel can also be exhausting, and some people have found that they prefer to stay home and create weekend variety in other ways. The cost of weekend activities is also worth considering. Some weekend activities are free, hiking, visiting public parks, having friends over for a meal, while others can be expensive. Going to concerts, fine dining restaurants, and entertainment venues costs money. This means that access to certain types of weekend activities can depend on income level, which is an important social factor to acknowledge. People with lower incomes often have fewer options for weekend activities, while wealthier people have more choices and flexibility. Seasonal changes also dramatically affect how people spend their weekends. In winter, people might enjoy skiing, ice skating, or simply staying inside enjoying warm activities. In summer, beach trips and outdoor sports become more common. Spring brings gardening and outdoor exploration, while fall often focuses on harvest activities and enjoying the changing scenery. These seasonal rhythms have existed for thousands of years, and they still influence how we structure our free time. Technology has also enabled entirely new weekend activities. Virtual reality, gaming, online classes, streaming services that allow you to learn new skills, and online communities have created options that didn't exist 10 or 20 years ago. Some people are building side businesses during their weekends using the internet. The gig economy means that some people work on weekends to earn extra income, which blurs the line between work and free time. The social pressure around weekends is also real. There's often an expectation that you should be doing something fun and exciting with your weekend, that you should be out with friends or traveling or doing something worth talking about on Monday. This can create stress for people who simply want to relax at home. The rise of social media has amplified this because everyone's weekend activities are on display, and it can feel like everyone else is living a more exciting life. However, the reality is usually much more mundane and quiet than what people share online. Relationships are hugely affected by how couples or families spend their weekends together. Couples often view weekends as their primary time for connection and romance. They might have regular date nights, or they might try to protect weekend mornings for quality time together before the chaos of the week begins. Families with children often structure their weekends around activities that the whole family can do together, which helps maintain family bonds and creates shared memories. The mental health benefits of proper weekend time off cannot be overstated. When people have adequate time to rest and pursue activities they enjoy, they report better mental health, less stress, and more job satisfaction during the week. Conversely, when people are constantly working or stressed during their weekends, they experience burnout more quickly. Psychologists emphasize the importance of having true rest time where you're not thinking about work. This means actually disconnecting from work communications during your weekend. Some interesting trends have emerged in how people spend weekends. There's an increasing focus on slow living, the idea of doing fewer things, but doing them with more intention and presence. This contrasts with the previous trend of packing weekends with as many activities as possible. People are experimenting with unplugging weekends where they put away their phones and devices and focus on in-person connection. Others are finding joy in simple, routine activities rather than constantly seeking new experiences. The environmental impact of weekend activities is also worth considering. Traveling to weekend destinations, eating at restaurants, and shopping all have carbon footprints. Some people are becoming more conscious of this and choosing weekend activities that have less environmental impact, like hiking instead of flying to distant locations. Others are interested in sustainable weekend activities and eco-conscious tourism. Personal growth is another aspect of how people use weekends. Many people take online courses, attend workshops, or pursue education during their weekends to develop new skills or advance their careers. They might read books to expand their knowledge, practice languages, or learn new hobbies. This type of intentional personal development during weekends can lead to significant life changes over time. The relationship between weekend activities and happiness is complex. Research shows that experiences generally make people happier than material possessions, which is why many people prefer to spend money on activities and travel rather than on objects. However, different types of experiences bring different kinds of happiness. Social activities bring happiness connected to relationships, while solo activities like reading might bring inner peace. Accomplishment-based activities like finishing a project bring satisfaction. Most people benefit from a mix of these different types of weekend experiences. Let me dive deeper into some specific hobbies that people pursue during weekends, because this is where it gets really personal and revealing about human nature. Photography, for instance, has become an incredibly popular weekend hobby. People take cameras or just use their smartphones to capture moments in nature, urban landscapes, or during social events. Some photographers are serious enthusiasts who spend entire weekends exploring different locations, trying to capture the perfect light or perspective. Others use photography as a way to be more present and observant of their surroundings. The nice thing about photography is that it combines art, technical skill, and exploration, and it can be done alone or with a community of other photographers. Gardening is another weekend activity that's seen a resurgence in popularity, especially among younger people who are interested in sustainability and growing their own food. Weekend gardeners might spend hours planning their garden, preparing soil, planting seeds or seedlings, and maintaining their plants. The satisfaction of eating vegetables or herbs that you've grown yourself is profound. Gardening also connects people to seasonal rhythms and natural cycles in a way that modern urban life often prevents. Many people find gardening to be meditative and therapeutic, even though it involves physical labor. Pet ownership significantly shapes how people spend their weekends. If you have a dog, a large portion of your weekend is dedicated to walking, playing, and caring for your pet. Dog owners often spend weekends at dog parks where they socialize with other dog owners while their pets play. Cat owners might spend their weekends providing enrichment for their indoor cats. Some people have more exotic pets like birds, reptiles, or fish that require specific care and attention. Pet-related activities often become the centerpiece of someone's weekend, and in many cases, pet owners genuinely prefer this arrangement because they get companionship and unconditional love in return. Volunteer work is another meaningful way that many people spend their weekends. They might volunteer at animal shelters, food banks, community centers, hospitals, or environmental organizations. Volunteering gives people a sense of purpose and contribution to their community. It's also a way to meet like-minded people who care about similar causes. For some people, their volunteer work is the most fulfilling part of their week because they can see the direct impact of their efforts on others. Sports fandom is a huge weekend activity for millions of people. Whether they're watching their favorite team play, attending live games, or participating in sports betting pools with friends, sports create a sense of community and belonging. Game days often involve gathering with other fans, whether at home, at sports bars, or at stadiums. The excitement and emotional investment in these events can make weekends feel special and give people something to look forward to during their work week. Some people are so dedicated to their teams that they travel to away games, and this becomes a major weekend activity that they plan months in advance. Music is another passion that shapes weekend activities. Beyond attending concerts and live performances, many people play musical instruments during their weekends. They might practice in a band, play in an orchestra or community choir, or simply play for their own enjoyment. The emotional release that comes from making music is powerful. Some people form bands specifically to play together on weekends, and this creates a creative outlet and social bonding. Learning a musical instrument as an adult is also a popular weekend goal for many people who didn't have the chance to learn as children. Dance is yet another weekend pursuit that combines physical activity, self-expression, and social connection. Salsa nights, swing dancing, hip-hop classes, or ballet studios are filled with people on weekends. Some people take dance classes seriously as a fitness activity, while others do it purely for fun and social connection. Dance classes create inclusive communities where people of various ages and backgrounds come together for a shared activity. The joy of learning new movements and eventually feeling confident enough to dance in front of others is incredibly rewarding. Language learning has become a popular weekend activity, especially for people in globalized cities or those interested in connecting with other cultures. People might attend language conversation groups, take classes, watch movies in other languages, or practice with language exchange. Partners. Weekends provide the time needed to dedicate to language learning in a way that weekday evenings don't allow. The motivation to learn often comes from practical reasons like travel plans or career advancement, but many people discover a genuine love for languages and different cultures through this weekend pursuit. Crafting encompasses a huge range of activities including knitting, sewing, jewelry making, woodworking, pottery, and countless other hands-on creative pursuits. There's something deeply satisfying about creating something tangible with your hands. Unlike digital work, crafting creates physical objects that you can touch, use, or give to people you care about. Many people find the repetitive motions of knitting or sewing to be meditative and calming. Craft communities are thriving, with people gathering in workshops or online to share skills and support each other's projects. Cooking classes and food preparation workshops have become increasingly popular weekend activities. People aren't just cooking at home, they're investing in learning from professionals. They might take weekend cooking classes to learn cuisine from different cultures, to improve their culinary skills, or to understand nutrition better. Some people treat weekend cooking as a performance where they prepare elaborate meals for guests. Food tourism has also exploded, where people travel on weekends specifically to eat at renowned restaurants or experience the food culture of different regions. Martial arts training is a weekend activity for many people of all ages. Whether it's karate, taekwondo, boxing, jiu-jitsu, or kung fu, martial arts classes create disciplined communities focused on self-improvement. Beyond the physical benefits, martial arts training teaches respect, patience, and mental discipline. Many martial arts practitioners spend their weekends training, attending tournaments, or practicing with their training community. It becomes a lifestyle rather than just an activity. Yoga and meditation centers are packed during weekends as people seek stress relief and spiritual growth. Some people attend regular classes at yoga studios, while others do private sessions or join yoga retreats. The popularity of wellness-focused weekends has created an entire industry around retreat centers that offer packages combining yoga, healthy meals, and mindfulness training. People travel specifically to these destinations to reset their bodies and minds. Fashion and styling is another weekend pursuit, especially for people who are passionate about clothing and personal presentation. They might spend weekends thrifting, shopping at boutiques, organizing their wardrobes, or following fashion blogs and YouTube channels. Some people use weekends to plan their outfits for the coming week or to learn about sustainable fashion and ethical clothing choices. Fashion enthusiasts often gather in communities to discuss trends and share their personal style. Fitness beyond traditional gym training has exploded. People participate in obstacle course races, parkour groups, rock climbing communities, CrossFit boxes, and indoor cycling studios. These fitness activities are often more social and community-oriented than traditional gym workouts. People train together, support each other, and often become close friends through these weekend fitness communities. The sense of belonging and the shared goal setting creates motivation that individual gym sessions might not provide. Home decoration and interior design have become serious weekend hobbies for many people. They might watch home improvement shows, visit furniture stores and home decor shops, or take online courses on interior design. Some people redesign their homes seasonally or gradually update different rooms. This hobby combines creativity with the practical satisfaction of creating a living space that reflects your personality and makes you happy. With social media, people also share their home projects with online communities for feedback and inspiration. Board game nights have had a major revival in recent years. Instead of the simple games many of us knew as children, there's now an enormous world of sophisticated board games that appeal to adults. People gather on weekends to play games like Cat-in, Ticket to Ride, Codenames, or thousands of other options. Board game cafes have opened in many cities where people can come try new games while enjoying food and drinks. This activity combines strategy, social interaction, and competitive fun. Tabletop role-playing games like Dungeons and Dragons have exploded in popularity. Groups gather weekly or monthly for campaign sessions that can last several hours. These games require creativity, storytelling, and collaboration. Participants often spend time between sessions preparing characters or planning storylines. The role-playing game community is extremely welcoming and inclusive, and many people find these games to be deeply fulfilling. From a creative and social perspective, model building and miniature collecting is a weekend passion for many people. Whether they're building scale models of cars, planes, or trains, or collecting miniatures, these hobbies require patience, attention to detail, and often significant financial investment. The communities around these hobbies are welcoming and share techniques, show off completed projects, and encourage each other. Some people display their completed collections in elaborate dioramas, which becomes a weekend project in itself. Anime and manga fandom has created huge weekend communities. Fans attend conventions, participate in cosplay, create fan art, or simply gather to watch and discuss their favorite shows. Comic conventions and anime conventions have become massive events where thousands of people gather to celebrate their shared interests. The creativity involved in cosplay, where people dress up as their favorite characters, is remarkable. These communities provide a sense of belonging for people who might feel like outsiders in their everyday lives. Film appreciation and cinema culture drive weekend activities for movie lovers. Beyond watching movies at home or in theaters, some people attend film festivals, film clubs, or movie marathons. They might watch classic films, explore films from different countries and cultures, or follow the work of specific directors. The discussion and analysis that happens in film communities helps people appreciate cinema on deeper levels. Collecting various items is a weekend hobby for many people. Some collect vintage items, comic books, trading cards, vinyl records, memorabilia from favorite movies or shows, or countless other things. The hunt for rare items often involves visiting flea markets, antique shops, or searching online. The satisfaction of finding a rare addition to a collection can be incredibly rewarding. Some collectors invest significant money and time into building impressive collections. Travel planning is itself a weekend activity that many people enjoy. They research destinations, read travel blogs, watch travel videos, and plan future trips. Some people are professional travelers or digital nomads who spend their weekends exploring new places. But others are armchair travelers who enjoy the planning and research almost as much as the actual travel. Travel planning communities share tips, recommendations, and encourage each other to explore new corners of the world. Car enthusiasts spend weekends working on vehicles, attending car shows, or taking scenic drives. Some people restore vintage cars, others modify their vehicles for better performance, and still others are simply passionate about driving and exploring new routes. Car culture creates communities where people bond over their love of automobiles. Car meets and shows happen throughout weekends in most cities. Wine tasting and craft beer appreciation have become sophisticated weekend hobbies. People visit wineries or breweries, attend tasting events, or host tasting gatherings at home. This hobby combines education about production processes with sensory appreciation and social connection. Many people are passionate about learning about different regions, production methods, and flavor profiles. Astronomy is a weekend hobby for people interested in the night sky. They might attend stargazing events, join astronomy clubs, or set up telescopes in their backyards. The sense of wonder and perspective that comes from observing distant stars and planets appeals to many people. Star parties, where groups gather to observe together, create communities around this shared interest. Journaling and writing are quiet weekend activities that many people find therapeutic. Some people keep daily journals, write poetry, work on novel projects, or write essays. The act of putting thoughts into words can be clarifying and emotionally healing. Writing communities, both online and in person, provide feedback and encouragement for writers pursuing their passion. Swimming and water aerobics classes are popular weekend activities, especially in warmer climates. Beyond fitness, many people love water simply because it makes them feel relaxed and free. Some people swim competitively, while others swim for leisure and stress relief. Water-based activities create their own communities with regular participants who become friends through consistent attendance. Outdoor camping and backpacking trips are major weekend undertakings for adventure seekers. They might plan camping trips months in advance, and entire weekends are dedicated to nature immersion. The benefits of sleeping outdoors, disconnecting from technology, and experiencing nature directly create profound impacts on mental health and perspective. Many people say that their best ideas and emotional breakthroughs happen during camping trips. Birdwatching has a dedicated community of enthusiasts who spend weekends observing birds, recording species, and sharing their sightings. The patience required, the appreciation for nature, and the quiet mindfulness of birdwatching appeal to many people. Organized birdwatching groups often go on excursions together to observe seasonal migrations or rare species. Urban exploration, or urbex, is a weekend hobby where people explore abandoned or hidden parts of cities. Photographers might seek out interesting architectural details or decay. Local historians might research the stories behind buildings. This creates an appreciation for urban landscapes and history that casual city dwellers might miss. Geocaching is a technological treasure hunt that happens outdoors during weekends. People use GPS devices or smartphone apps to find hidden containers placed by other enthusiasts. It combines adventure, exploration, and problem solving. The geocaching community is worldwide, which means you can participate anywhere you travel. Many people find that geocaching motivates them to explore areas they wouldn't normally visit and to spend more time outdoors. Fitness challenges and running clubs have become social institutions in many communities. People join running groups not just for exercise, but for the community and accountability. Training together for marathons or half marathons creates bonds between participants who support each other through training cycles. The sense of achievement when crossing a finish line is often shared with the entire running community that train together. Social dancing events like salsa nights, swing dancing, or ballroom competitions are major weekend activities. Beyond the physical activity, dancing is deeply social. You're often dancing with a partner, which requires communication and trust. The joy of moving to music in a community of other dancers creates a unique experience that many people cherish. Some people travel to dance festivals specifically for these events. Weightlifting and strength training communities have their own culture. People might spend weekends at CrossFit competitions, powerlifting meets, or strongman competitions. The camaraderie in these communities is strong because everyone is working towards similar goals of building strength and pushing their physical limits. The mentorship that happens in these communities helps people grow stronger safely. Cooking competitions and food festivals are increasingly popular weekend activities. Beyond professional competitive cooking shows on television, amateur cooks participate in local cooking competitions. Food festivals celebrate various cuisines and create opportunities for people to try new foods and cook different dishes. The food community is generally very welcoming and encouraging toward people trying to improve their culinary skills. Thrifting and second-hand shopping have become popular weekend activities, especially among younger people interested in sustainability. The thrill of finding unique items at low prices, the environmental benefit of reusing items, and the potential to find vintage treasures make thrifting appealing. Some people have turned thrifting into an art form and regularly share their finds on social media. Bookstagramming and book communities have created new ways for people to engage with reading during their weekends. People take aesthetically pleasing photographs of books, write reviews, and discuss books online and in person. Many cities have active book clubs that meet on weekends to discuss literature. These communities help people discover new books and feel connected to others who share their love of reading. Mental health and therapy pursuits are increasingly becoming conscious weekend activities. Beyond traditional therapy, people attend workshops on emotional intelligence, attend support groups, or participate in meditation retreats. The weekend is often the time people allocate for intentional mental health work because it requires space and reflection. Astrology and tarot reading communities create social spaces for people interested in these practices. Whether people take these practices seriously or more casually, The communities around them are welcoming and non-judgmental. Weekend meetups might involve learning to read tarot cards, discussing astrological transits, or sharing personal experiences. Skateboarding and extreme sports communities are thriving on weekends. Skate parks are filled with people of all ages pushing their physical abilities. The progression of learning new tricks creates goals and motivation. The community around extreme sports is inclusive and encourages people to progress at their own pace while supporting others. Parkour is an emerging weekend activity where people learn to navigate urban environments in creative ways. It combines physical fitness, artistic expression, and problem solving. Parkour communities gather in cities to train together, share techniques, and film their progress. Aquarium keeping as a serious hobby involves significant weekend time. Some people spend hours maintaining their tanks, breeding specialty fish, or creating elaborate aquascapes that are works of art. The relaxation that comes from watching fish in a well-maintained aquarium is scientifically documented to reduce stress and anxiety. Terrarium building and plant propagation have become popular weekend crafts. People create miniature ecosystems in glass containers or propagate plants to grow their home gardens. The care involved in nurturing living things brings satisfaction and connection to nature even in urban apartments. Perfume and fragrance appreciation has created enthusiast communities. People spend weekends learning about perfume notes, attending fragrance events, or collecting rare scents. The sensory experience of discovering new fragrances and discussing them with others creates a unique hobby culture. Soap and candle making are creative weekend hobbies where people create products for personal use or as gifts. The process of mixing ingredients and experimenting with scents and colors appeals to creative people. Some hobbyists turn their weekend projects into small businesses. Skincare and beauty routines have become more elaborate for many people. Weekend beauty treatments might include skincare masks, hair treatments, manicures, or pedicures done at home or at spas. The self-care aspect appeals to people wanting to invest in their appearance and wellness. Antique furniture restoration is a rewarding weekend hobby for people with patience and woodworking skills. Finding old furniture at thrift stores and restoring it to its former beauty combines resourcefulness with craftsmanship. The satisfaction of bringing old pieces back to life is profound. Leatherworking and other traditional crafts are experiencing revival among people interested in slowing down and creating durable goods. Making wallets, belts, or bags from leather requires skill development, but produces items that last a lifetime. The connection to traditional craftsmanship appeals to many people. Jewelry making, whether with beads, metals, or stones, is a weekend activity that appeals to creative people. Making custom jewelry allows for self-expression and personal style. Many people create jewelry as gifts for loved ones, adding personal meaning to the pieces. Toy collecting, whether vintage toys, action figures, or collectible dolls, creates passionate communities. People display their collections in elaborate shelving units that become showcases of their personal interests. Trading and selling items within these communities creates social connections. Origami and paper crafting appeal to people who enjoy detailed, meditative work. The transformation of flat paper into intricate folded creations is deeply satisfying. Some people create complex three-dimensional structures that are genuinely impressive. Soapstone carving and other sculpting activities provide creative outlets. Working with stone or other materials engages problem-solving and artistic skills. The physical act of carving can be meditative and stress-relieving. Herbal tea blending and tea culture create weekend rituals for enthusiasts. People learn about different tea varieties, their health benefits, and flavor profiles. Hosting tea tastings for friends becomes a sophisticated weekend social activity. Coffee culture and specialty coffee appreciation have created communities around sourcing, brewing, and discussing coffee. People invest in quality brewing equipment, learn different brewing methods, and experiment with beans from various regions. Weekend coffee competitions showcase latte art and brewing skills. Cocktail mixing and home bartending are weekend hobbies for people who enjoy creating drinks for themselves and guests. Learning about different spirits, techniques, and flavor combinations appeals to people interested in mixology as a craft. Home fermentation of foods like kombucha, kimchi, or sauerkraut is a growing weekend hobby. The process requires patience and attention, but produces foods that support gut health. The science and creativity involved appeals to many people. Mushroom foraging is a weekend adventure for people interested in nature and food. Finding edible mushrooms in the wild combines exploration, learning, and culinary creativity. Foraging communities teach people to identify safe, edible species. Beekeeping has become a trendy weekend hobby for people interested in sustainability and supporting pollinator populations. Beekeepers spend weekends caring for their hives, monitoring colony health, and harvesting honey. The connection to nature and contribution to environmental health motivates many beekeepers. Aquatic gardening and maintaining aquatic plants create beautiful living ecosystems. People design underwater landscapes that rival terrestrial gardens in complexity and beauty. The peaceful effect of watching aquatic life is therapeutic for many. Bonsai cultivation is an ancient art that has many modern practitioners. Growing and shaping miniature trees requires knowledge, patience, and artistic vision. Weekend bonsai workshops help people learn this intricate craft. Succulents and cactus collecting has exploded in popularity, especially among people in urban areas with limited space. The low-maintenance nature of these plants appeals to busy people. Propagating succulents and creating arrangements is a relaxing weekend activity. Terrace and balcony gardening allows apartment dwellers to pursue growing plants. Creating productive gardens in small spaces requires creativity. Many apartment dwellers spend weekends tending to their plant collections. Orchid growing is a hobby for people who appreciate rare and exotic plants. Orchid clubs gather to share specimens, knowledge, and trading opportunities. The beauty of these flowers makes the effort worthwhile. Hydroponics and aquaponics appeal to tech-savvy gardeners interested in growing food in innovative ways. Setting up and maintaining these systems requires learning and experimentation, which appeals to curious minds. Mushroom cultivation extends beyond foraging to actually growing edible mushrooms at home. People create growing environments in basements or closets. The surprise and satisfaction of seeing mushrooms appear from the substrate is genuinely exciting. Composting is a weekend activity for environmentally conscious people. Learning about composting processes and maintaining compost piles connects people to natural cycles. Producing compost for gardening closes a natural loop that many people find deeply satisfying. Container gardening allows people with limited space to grow vegetables, herbs, and flowers. Designing attractive planted containers becomes an artistic pursuit. Many apartment dwellers with patios become passionate container gardeners. Seed saving and propagation appeals to people interested in plants and sustainability. Learning which seeds to save, spelunking appeal to adventure seekers interested in exploring underground geological formations. The wonder of discovering hidden caves and subterranean ecosystems creates profound experiences. Horseback riding and equestrian activities create passionate communities around these animals. Whether for recreation or competition, horseback riders spend significant weekend time at stables and on trails. Trail running combines running with nature exploration. Running on trails rather than pavement challenges different muscles and engages the mind with navigating terrain. Orienteering competitions challenge people to navigate terrain using maps and compasses. The combination of physical challenge and problem-solving appeals to competitive people. Podcasting itself has become a weekend hobby for many people. They create their own shows, interview guests, or discuss topics they're passionate about. The democratization of media through podcasting allows anyone with a microphone to become a creator and reach a global audience. For some, weekend podcasting becomes a serious pursuit that potentially leads to sponsorships and larger audiences. Blogging and content creation have given people platforms to share their knowledge and experiences. Weekend bloggers write about their hobbies, travel experiences, food discoveries, or parenting journey. Building an engaged audience over time creates motivation and purpose. Some weekend bloggers have turned their passion into full-time careers, but most do it purely for the love of sharing their perspective with others. Video creation and YouTube content production have become serious weekend pursuits. People create vlogs about their lives, tutorial videos for skills they've learned, or entertainment content. Learning video editing and production techniques appeals to creative people. The potential to monetize videos through ad revenue creates additional motivation for serious content creators. Social media content creation has become a weekend job for many influencers and creators. Planning content, taking photos or videos, editing, and engaging with followers consumes significant weekend time. For some, managing multiple social media platforms becomes equivalent to a part-time job, though they're doing it in a space they're passionate about. Building and maintaining online communities around shared interests is another weekend activity. People moderate forums, organize Discord servers, or manage Facebook groups centered on specific hobbies or interests. Creating welcoming spaces where people can connect over shared passions is fulfilling for community-minded people. Learning languages through language exchange partnerships and conversation groups happens on weekends. People meet with native speakers who want to practice their target language. These meetups are often social and fun, turning language learning into an enjoyable weekend activity rather than a solitary academic pursuit. Debate clubs and discussion groups meet on weekends for people who enjoy intellectual discussion and argumentation. Engaging with ideas, defending positions, and learning from others' perspectives appeals to intellectually curious people. These groups create friendships based on mutual respect and shared intellectual interests. Philosophy, discussion, groups, and ethics seminars attract people interested in deep thinking about fundamental questions. Weekend philosophical salons have become trendy in many cities, providing spaces for thoughtful discussion about meaning, morality, and existence. History appreciation clubs and historical society meetings attract people fascinated by the past. Members might visit historical sites together, hear presentations from historians, or participate in historical reenactments. The passion for understanding history and preserving historical knowledge motivates weekend participation. Historical reenactments are serious weekend pursuits for dedicated enthusiasts. People research historical periods, create authentic costumes and equipment, and participate in large-scale reenactments. The dedication required to authenticity and the immersive experience of stepping into history appeals to many people. Genealogy research has become more accessible with online databases, making weekend ancestry investigation a popular hobby. Discovering family history and making connections with distant relatives creates a sense of belonging and understanding of one's roots. Many people become passionate genealogy researchers who spend weekends tracing family trees and uncovering family stories. Archival research and manuscript studying appeal to people interested in historical documents and primary sources. Universities often welcome public participation in research projects. Weekend researchers contribute valuable work while developing expertise in their areas of interest. Map collecting and cartography appreciation attract people fascinated by how places are represented and understood. Antique maps especially attract collectors and historians. The artistry in map making and the way maps reflect the knowledge and perspective of their time period appeals to intellectually curious people. Museum membership and regular museum visits are weekend traditions for many people. Beyond tourist visits, regular patrons develop relationships with institutions and see exhibitions multiple times. Some people dedicate weekends to visiting different museums in their region, systematically experiencing cultural institutions. Art gallery openings and gallery walks are social weekend events in many cities. People dress up, enjoy wine or refreshments, and discuss the artwork on display. The social aspect, combined with cultural engagement, appeals to many people who want meaningful weekend activities. Studio visits and artist open house events allow people to meet artists and see their workspaces. Understanding the creative process behind artworks creates appreciation and often leads to supporting artists directly by purchasing their work. Art classes and instruction appeal to people wanting to develop artistic skills. Adult art education classes in painting, drawing, sculpture, or other media provide structured learning and community. Many people discover artistic talent they didn't know they had when they finally take time to pursue art seriously. Drawing and sketching communities gather for group sessions where participants draw from models or objects. The focus on observation and hand-eye coordination creates meditative practice. Sharing sketches with others in supportive environments encourages continued participation. Painting classes and painting groups meet regularly for instruction and practice. Whether people are interested in watercolor, acrylic, or oil painting, weekend art classes provide structured learning and social community. Sculpture workshops provide hands-on instruction in three-dimensional art creation. Working with clay, stone, or other materials engages different parts of the brain than two-dimensional art. The tactile satisfaction of sculpture appeals to kinesthetic learners. Printmaking and block printing workshops teach traditional art techniques. Creating multiple prints from a single block combines artistic vision with technical skill. The visual impact of successful prints provides immediate gratification. Calligraphy and hand lettering classes appeal to people interested in beautiful handwriting and artistic expression. Learning traditional calligraphy or modern hand lettering transforms mundane writing into art. Many practitioners create beautiful cards, invitations, or decorative pieces. Digital art and design classes teach people to create art using computers and specialized software. The accessibility of digital tools has democratized art creation. Weekend digital artists create illustrations, animations, or design work. Photography courses teach both technical skills and artistic composition. Weekend photography instruction helps people understand their cameras and develop an eye for compelling images. Many photographers develop throughout their lives, constantly learning new techniques. Comic book creation and illustration appeal to people interested in sequential art and storytelling. Weekend comic artists develop characters, write stories, and refine their drawing skills. Online communities support amateur comic creators and provide feedback and encouragement. Animation workshops teach frame-by-frame or digital animation techniques. Creating moving images requires patience and technical skill. The satisfaction of watching characters move comes from hours of detailed work. Life drawing sessions focus on drawing human figures from live models. This classical approach to artistic training develops fundamental skills. The community aspect of group life drawing sessions provides motivation and peer learning. Portrait painting and portraiture classes help people capture likenesses and develop understanding of human features. Mastering portraiture takes years of practice, but weekend artists steadily improve their skills. Landscape painting captures natural scenery and teaches understanding of light, atmosphere, and perspective. Many artists find landscape painting meditative, especially when painting outdoors in natural settings. Still life painting develops skills in composition and color mixing. The controlled environment of still life allows artists to focus purely on artistic elements without the complications of outdoor painting. Botanical illustration combines art with scientific observation. Creating detailed, accurate drawings of plants appeals to people who love both art and nature. Wildlife illustration similarly requires detailed observation combined with artistic skill. Creating believable animal paintings requires understanding anatomy and behavior. Pet portraiture is a specialized area where artists create commissioned paintings or drawings of peoples. Beloved animals. This niche has grown as people increasingly treat pets as family members worthy of memorial art. Wedding photography as a weekend side business appeals to photographers who want to build their skills while earning income. Weekend weddings create opportunities to develop technical and interpersonal skills while capturing important life moments. Event photography for corporate events, concerts, or festivals provides weekend income for photographers while expanding their portfolio. The fast-paced environment of event photography develops quick decision-making skills. Newborn and baby photography appeals to people interested in lifestyle photography. Creating beautiful images of families and new babies touches people emotionally. Building a client base in this specialty can become a profitable weekend business. Maternity photography celebrates pregnancy and creates beautiful memories. The connection with clients during this special time period creates meaningful work beyond just technical photography. Family photography sessions and family portraits are perennial weekend activities. Professional family photographers book sessions year-round, especially around holidays. Creating beautiful family images that will be treasured for years provides deep satisfaction. Senior portraits and graduation photography capture important life milestones. Working with graduating high school and college students creates energy and purpose. These portraits become keepsakes that mark important life transitions. Headshots and professional portraits for actors, models, and professionals drive weekend photography work. The technical precision required to create flattering headshots teaches photographers valuable skills. Couples photography and engagement sessions celebrate relationships. The romance of capture couples in love appeals to many photographers. Building relationships with couples through their engagement, wedding, and beyond creates meaningful long-term connections. Photography, mentoring, and teaching allow experienced photographers to develop the next generation. Weekend workshops and one-on-one mentoring help photographers at all levels improve their craft. Macro photography and close-up work reveals details normally invisible to human eyes. Photographing insects, flowers, dewdrops, and other small subjects requires specialized equipment and patience. The otherworldly beauty discovered through macro photography inspires many photographers. Long-exposure photography captures light trails and water movement in artistic ways. Learning to manipulate shutter speed and use neutral density filters appeals to technically minded photographers. Landscape photography in challenging environments pushes photographers to remote locations. Weekend landscape photographers wake before dawn to capture sunrise light and travel to beautiful natural areas. Street photography captures candid moments of urban life. This genre combines technical skill with storytelling ability. The ethical considerations of photographing strangers create ongoing conversations within the street photography community. Architecture photography documents the built environment and celebrates structural beauty. Photographing buildings requires understanding light, perspective, and composition. Many cities have architecture photography enthusiasts who regularly document their urban environments. Drone photography and aerial imaging have become increasingly accessible as drone technology becomes more affordable. Weekend drone pilots capture stunning aerial perspectives of landscapes and cities. Drone communities gather to share techniques and showcase footage. Underwater photography appeals to divers and snorkelers. Capturing marine life and underwater landscapes requires specialized equipment and skill. The incredible diversity of underwater ecosystems provides endless subjects for photographers. Night photography and astrophotography capture the beauty of darkness and stars. Learning to use long exposures and high ISO settings to capture night scenes requires technical knowledge. The magical quality of nighttime images appeals to photographers seeking to show the world as nocturnal creatures experience it. Stock photography and photography licensing allow photographers to earn passive income from their weekend work. Uploading images to stock photography sites creates ongoing revenue as people purchase licenses to use those images. This model appeals to photographers who want to monetize their work without constantly shooting new assignments. Photo editing and post-processing skills are increasingly essential for modern photographers. Weekend photographers dedicate time to learning editing software like Lightroom and Photoshop. The creative control available through editing transforms good images into outstanding ones. Some photographers are passionate about editing itself, treating it as an art form equal to the initial capture. Fine art photography pursues aesthetic vision over commercial viability. Fine art photographers create series of images exploring themes, emotions, or concepts. Their work often challenges viewers and expresses personal artistic perspective. Weekend fine art photographers might enter competitions or show their work in galleries. Documentary photography tells stories about real people and situations. Weekend documentary photographers might focus on social issues, cultural traditions, or environmental concerns. The combination of artistic vision with purposeful storytelling appeals to photographers wanting their work to matter beyond aesthetics. Travel photography combines exploration with image making. Traveling specifically to photograph creates motivation to visit new places and capture unique perspectives. Travel photography communities share experiences and inspire others to explore new destinations. Thesis, projects, and personal photography projects give photographers focused directions for their weekend work. Rather than shooting randomly, working toward a specific project goal creates purpose and progression. Many photographers spend years developing personal projects that eventually become books or exhibitions. Photography book creation consolidates photography work into publishable form. Weekend photographers learn about design, editing, and publishing to create books showcasing their images. Creating a published photography book represents a significant achievement. Photography exhibition and gallery representation become goals for serious weekend photographers. Working toward showing one's images in galleries drives improvement and provides external validation. The prestige of gallery representation motivates photographers to develop increasingly sophisticated work. Photography criticism and analysis help photographers understand what makes images compelling. Weekend photographers read about photography, study master photographers' work, and develop critical eyes. This intellectual engagement deepens appreciation for the medium. Camera collecting appeals to photographers and enthusiasts fascinated by camera technology and history. Collecting vintage cameras, experimental cameras, or specialized equipment becomes a hobby alongside using cameras for photography. Learning about camera history and technology intersects with the practical use of these tools. Film photography has experienced revival as photographers appreciate the tactile process and aesthetic qualities of film. Weekend film photographers shoot rolls of film, develop negatives, and create prints in darkrooms. The slowness and intentionality of film photography appeals to people seeking to disconnect from digital culture. Darkroom printing and chemical processes fascinate photographers interested in traditional processes. Weekend photographers maintain darkrooms where they create prints from negatives. The alchemy of watching images appear under red light has magical appeal that digital printing cannot match. Alternative photography processes like cyanotype, platinum printing, or gum bichromate appeal to experimental photographers. These historical processes create unique aesthetic qualities. Weekend photographers experiment with these techniques to understand photography history and create distinctive images. Photography restoration and conservation appeal to people interested in photography history and preservation. Restoring old damaged photographs and properly conserving family archives preserves visual history. This specialized skill provides satisfaction of rescue and restoration. Documentary film production and filmmaking appeal to storytellers. Weekend filmmakers create short films, documentaries, or narrative pieces. Learning cinematography, directing, and editing teaches comprehensive filmmaking skills. The collaborative nature of filmmaking creates community around shared creative vision. Video production for marketing and business appeals to entrepreneurs. Creating video content for social media, websites, or promotional purposes has become essential in modern business. Weekend video producers build portfolios while earning income. Streaming and gaming content creation have become legitimate careers for some weekend gamers. Creating entertaining gaming streams on platforms like Twitch builds audiences and income. The social aspect of streaming creates communities around shared gaming interests. Music production and beat making appeal to musically minded people. Creating tracks, producing beats, and experimenting with sound engineering happens in home studios during weekends. Many amateur producers develop serious skills and eventually create music professionally. DJing and mixing music at clubs, events, or simply for personal enjoyment appeals to music enthusiasts. Learning to blend songs, read crowds, and create seamless musical experiences develops skills. Weekend DJs build reputations and book performances at events. Sound engineering and audio production create career opportunities for weekend learners. Recording podcasts, music, or voiceovers requires understanding audio equipment and acoustic principles. These skills have high market value. Voice acting and audiobook narration appeal to people with pleasant voices and dramatic range. Weekend voice actors record auditions and build portfolios. Building a voice acting career takes time, but can eventually lead to consistent work. Screenplay writing and film script development appeal to storytellers. Weekend screenwriters work on developing scripts, attending screenwriting workshops, and networking with other writers. The hope of seeing one's script produced motivates continued work. Novel writing and fiction development occupy weekends for aspiring authors. Writing groups meet to share work, provide feedback, and encourage continued writing. Many weekend writers eventually publish books that reach wide audiences. Poetry writing and creative writing workshops help writers develop their craft. Sharing vulnerable creative work with supportive communities encourages continued exploration. Many poets perform their work at open, mic nights, and poetry readings. Short story writing allows writers to explore ideas in contained format. Weekly writing challenges and short story competitions drive productivity. Many serious writers develop their skills through short-form work before attempting novels. Essay writing and personal essay development appeal to writers exploring personal experience and ideas. Publishing essays in literary magazines or online platforms gives writers audiences for their work. Memoir writing allows people to document their lives and share personal stories. Weekend memoir writers work on projects that will become family treasures or published books. The reflection required in memoir writing provides therapy and meaning-making. Children's book writing combines storytelling with understanding young readers' needs. Weekend writers create children's picture books or young adult novels. Seeing one's characters and stories reach young readers provides deep satisfaction. Self-publishing and independent publishing have democratized book creation. Weekend writers self-publish their work, building author platforms and reaching readers directly. The control and financial rewards of self-publishing motivate many weekend authors. Book editing and critique services allow experienced writers to support other writers. Weekend editors provide feedback on manuscripts, helping writers improve their work. Building editing skills creates potential income source. Literary magazine editing and submissions management engage writers interested in literature broadly. Managing literary journals requires reading submissions, selecting pieces, and building communities around published work. Writing workshops and masterclasses teach people refined writing skills. Learning from established authors during weekend workshops accelerates skill development. The inspiration gained from connecting with serious writers motivates continued work. Author interview and literary podcast creation celebrate literature. Weekend podcasters interview authors, discuss books, and create literary content. Building audiences around literary content creates community among readers and writers. Book translation involves making literature accessible across languages. Weekend translators work on translating books, poems, or articles. The careful attention required in translation appeals to detail-oriented people. Manuscript preparation and formatting help writers ready books for publishing. Learning proper formatting for different publishing platforms is essential. Many writers develop these skills to self-publish successfully. Copyright and intellectual property learning helps writers protect their work. Understanding publishing law and contracts protects writers from unfavorable deals. Weekend education in publishing industry practices helps writers make informed decisions. Zine creation combines writing, design, and production in DIY publications. Creating zines allows complete creative control and quick publication. The aesthetic appeal and community around zine culture attracts many weekend creators. Comic writing and script writing appeal to people interested in sequential storytelling. Writing scripts for comics requires understanding visual storytelling and pacing. Many comic writers collaborate with artists to bring their stories to life. Greeting card writing and verse creation provide income for creative writers. Weekend writers craft sentiments for greeting cards, learning the specific requirements of that format. Selling designs to card companies creates ongoing revenue. Advertising, copywriting, and creative writing for marketing allows writers to apply skills commercially. Learning to write persuasively and creatively for marketing appeals to writers interested in business. Weekend copywriters build portfolios while earning. Money, technical writing and documentation work appeals to writers who enjoy clarity and precision. Creating manuals, guides, and documentation requires specific skills. Many weekend writers develop technical writing expertise that transitions to paid work. Grant writing appeals to writers interested in nonprofit work and community benefit. Weekend grant writers help organizations secure funding through persuasive proposals. Contributing to community projects through writing provides meaning. Content strategy and content planning help organizations communicate effectively. Weekend content strategists analyze markets and create plans for consistent messaging. Strategic thinking appeals to analytically minded creatives. Resume writing and career coaching services help job seekers succeed. Weekend coaches work with clients to present their strengths effectively. Helping people advance careers provides satisfaction. Life coaching and personal development coaching appeal to people interested in helping others grow. Weekend coaches work with clients on goals and personal challenges. The mentoring relationship creates meaningful connections. Executive coaching targets high-level professionals seeking improvement. Weekend executive coaches work with decision makers on leadership skills. The influence on business outcomes provides leverage for impact. Business consulting allows professionals to share expertise with companies. Weekend consultants help businesses solve problems and improve operations. The consulting model allows flexible arrangements around main employment. Career counseling and aptitude testing help people find suitable careers. Weekend counselors work with students and career changers determining their best paths. Helping people find fulfilling work contributes to societal well-being. Tutoring and academic support help students achieve educational goals. Weekend tutors work in specific subjects, test preparation, or general academic coaching. Seeing students succeed creates profound satisfaction. Language tutoring helps learners acquire languages from native speakers. Weekend language tutors provide personalized instruction and conversation practice. The one-on-one relationship allows customized learning. Test preparation tutoring helps students prepare for major exams. Weekend test prep tutors develop strategies and content knowledge. Success of their students' test scores provides tangible measurement of impact. College admissions counseling helps students navigate the complex application process. Weekend admissions counselors help students present themselves effectively. Getting students into their preferred schools provides genuine satisfaction. Music lessons and instrument instruction teach weekend students musical skills. Weekend music teachers work with students on technique and interpretation. Watching students progress musically provides reward. Private coaching in various sports helps athletes improve performance. Weekend sports coaches work with individuals or small groups developing skills. The physicality and measurable improvement appeals to coaching-oriented people. Acting coaching and theatrical instruction develop performance skills. Weekend acting coaches help people overcome stage fright and develop characters. The collaborative nature of theater and film coaching builds community. Dance instruction and choreography teach people movement and self-expression. Weekend dance teachers work with students of all ages and abilities. Developing dancers' confidence and skills provides satisfaction. Yoga instruction and meditation teaching guide students toward wellness. Weekend yoga teachers create classes that help people reduce stress and improve flexibility. The holistic nature of yoga appeals to health-conscious instructors. Pilates instruction and core strengthening coaching develops physical fitness. Weekend Pilates teachers use the reformer and mat work to build strength. The focus on body awareness and control appeals to precision-minded instructors. Swimming instruction and water safety teaching save lives. Weekend swim instructors teach children and adults water competency. The water safety skills they teach could prevent drowning. CrossFit coaching and functional fitness training appeal to people interested in challenging workouts. Weekend CrossFit coaches develop athletes' strength and conditioning. The community and competition aspects create engagement. Martial arts instruction and self-defense teaching develop confidence and competency. Weekend martial arts instructors work with students of all ages. The discipline and respect emphasized in martial arts appeals to instructors. Gymnastics coaching develops flexibility, strength, and coordination. Weekend gymnastics coaches work with young athletes developing skills. The progression of increasingly difficult skills provides clear advancement markers. Rock climbing instruction and belaying teaching develop technical skills and safety knowledge. Weekend climbing instructors teach people to climb safely. The problem-solving aspect of climbing appeals to many instructors. Parkour instruction teaches people to move creatively through urban environments. Weekend parkour coaches develop students' spatial awareness and creativity. The artistic and athletic combination appeals to many. Skateboarding coaching and trick instruction develop technical skills. Weekend skateboard coaches work with students progressing through skill levels. The culture and community around skateboarding creates engagement. Surfing instruction and wave riding lessons appeal to people in coastal areas. Weekend surf instructors introduce people to the ocean and teach essential water skills. The communion with nature in surfing appeals to many instructors. Snowboarding and skiing instruction develop winter sports skills. Weekend instructors work at ski resorts during season. The beautiful mountain environment and sense of freedom in skiing appeal to instructors. Horse riding instruction and equestrian coaching develop horsemanship. Weekend riding instructors work with students developing relationships with horses. The bond between rider and horse creates emotional connection. Golf lessons and swing coaching help golfers improve their game. Weekend golf instructors provide individual or group lessons. The precision and discipline required in golf appeals to coaching-oriented instructors. Tennis coaching and racket sport instruction develop athletic skills. Weekend tennis coaches work with players of all levels. The competitive nature of tennis appeals to many coaches. Basketball coaching and team sport instruction develop athletic and social skills. Weekend basketball coaches work with teams developing strategy and skill. The team aspect creates strong coach-player bonds. Soccer coaching and football instruction develop athletic excellence. Weekend soccer coaches work with youth and adult teams. The global popularity of soccer creates opportunities worldwide. Baseball and softball instruction teach fundamental sports skills. Weekend coaches work with young players developing techniques. The timeless appeal of baseball creates nostalgic engagement. Volleyball coaching develops teamwork and athletic skills. Weekend volleyball coaches work with competitive and recreational teams. The collaborative nature of volleyball appeals to team-oriented coaches. Swimming team coaching develops competitive swimmers. Weekend coaches work with swimmers improving times and technique. The measurable progress in swimming times provides clear feedback. Track and field coaching develops running, jumping, and throwing skills. Weekend coaches work with athletes specializing in various events. The individual achievement within team structure appeals to many. Fitness class instruction in various formats creates healthy communities. Weekend fitness instructors teach aerobics, kickboxing, Zumba, or other formats. The energy and music create enjoyable exercise experiences. Personal training one-on-one helps clients achieve fitness goals. Weekend personal trainers work with individuals developing customized programs. The individual attention allows personalized progress. Nutrition coaching and dietary consultation help people improve eating habits. Weekend nutrition coaches work with clients on food choices and meal planning. Improving people's health through nutrition provides satisfaction. Wellness consulting and holistic health coaching address overall well-being. Weekend wellness consultants help clients integrate physical, mental, and emotional health. The comprehensive approach to health appeals to coaches interested in whole-person development. Mental health advocacy and peer support leadership help people navigate psychological challenges. Weekend peer support leaders work with others experiencing mental health issues. Creating safe spaces for discussion helps destigmatize mental health struggles. Addiction recovery coaching helps people overcome substance dependency. Weekend recovery coaches support individuals through difficult journeys. Witnessing genuine transformation provides profound meaning. Grief counseling and bereavement support help people process loss. Weekend grief counselors create space for people to experience and work through grief. The compassion required and impact on people's lives creates meaningful work. Relationship counseling and couples therapy help partners improve communication. Weekend relationship counselors work with couples strengthening their connections. Helping relationships thrive contributes to individual and family well-being. Family counseling helps families navigate conflicts and improve dynamics. Weekend family counselors work with multiple generations addressing challenges. The complexity of family systems appeals to systems-thinking counselors. Parenting coaching helps parents develop effective strategies. Weekend parenting coaches work with parents of various age children. Supporting parents helps entire families improve functioning. Children's therapy and play therapy help young people process emotions through play. Weekend children's therapists create safe spaces for exploration and healing. Understanding child development informs effective therapy approaches. Teen counseling addresses challenges specific to adolescence. Weekend teen counselors work with young people navigating identity and relationships. Understanding adolescent psychology allows effective support. Premarital counseling helps couples prepare for marriage. Weekend counselors work with engaged couples addressing potential conflict areas. Strengthening relationships before marriage supports long-term success. Sexual health education and sex counseling address intimate health. Weekend educators provide accurate information and counseling. Reducing shame and misinformation around sexuality improves relationships. Divorce coaching helps people navigate separation processes. Weekend divorce coaches support individuals through difficult transitions. Helping people move forward constructively from divorce serves important role. Single coaching and dating advice helps single people navigate relationship seeking. Weekend coaches help clients develop confidence and effective dating strategies. Humor and compassion around dating challenges creates engaging coaching. LGBTQ plus counseling and affirmative therapy support sexual and gender minority individuals. Weekend affirming therapists create safe spaces for authentic self-expression. Supporting people in living authentic lives provides deep satisfaction. Gender identity exploration coaching helps transgender and non-binary individuals. Weekend coaches support people through transitions and identity work. Affirming people's authentic identities creates meaningful impact. Body image counseling addresses disordered eating and body dysmorphia. Weekend counselors help people develop healthier relationships with their bodies. Supporting people towards self-acceptance creates profound change. Trauma therapy and EMDR treatment help people process traumatic experiences. Weekend trauma therapists work with survivors healing from difficult events. Witnessing resilience and recovery provides deep fulfillment. Anxiety treatment and panic disorder support help people manage anxious symptoms. Weekend therapists teach coping strategies and address underlying causes. Reducing anxiety improves quality of life significantly. Depression treatment and mood support help people address low mood states. Weekend therapists provide evidence-based approaches to depression. Helping people move toward hope and engagement provides meaning. ADHD coaching helps people with attention challenges develop systems. Weekend ADHD coaches work with individuals creating structures supporting success. Understanding neurodiversity informs effective coaching. Autism spectrum coaching supports autistic individuals developing skills. Weekend coaches work with autistic people navigating social and daily challenges. Honoring autistic neurology while supporting development creates respectful coaching. Neurodiversity affirmation and coaching celebrates different brain types. Weekend coaches help neurodivergent individuals understand their strengths. Shifting from deficit-based to strength-based perspective creates empowerment. Learning disability, support, and dyslexia coaching help people with learning differences. Weekend coaches work with individuals developing compensatory strategies. Supporting successful learning for all people creates equity. Career transition coaching helps people navigate job changes. Weekend coaches work with people managing career shifts. Supporting people toward fulfilling work provides satisfaction. Retirement planning coaching helps people prepare for work transitions. Weekend coaches work with pre-retirees planning fulfilling retirements. Helping people create meaningful retirement lives provides purpose. Entrepreneurship coaching helps people start and grow businesses. Weekend coaches work with entrepreneurs developing business skills. Supporting business creation fuels economic activity and innovation. Leadership development coaching helps emerging leaders improve effectiveness. Weekend coaches work with leaders developing vision and influence. Improving leadership impacts organizations and communities. Communication coaching helps people improve interpersonal effectiveness. Weekend coaches work with individuals developing presentation and listening skills. Better communication improves all human relationships. Confidence-building coaching helps people develop self-assurance. Weekend coaches work with individuals addressing self-doubt. Building genuine confidence enables people to pursue goals. Public speaking coaching helps people overcome fear of presentations. Weekend coaches work with speakers developing delivery skills. Reducing public speaking anxiety enables people to share important messages. Networking coaching helps people develop professional connections. Weekend coaches work with professionals improving networking skills. Strong networks support career and business success. Interview coaching helps job seekers prepare for interviews. Weekend coaches work with candidates presenting themselves effectively. Improving interview performance directly impacts employment outcomes. Salary negotiation coaching helps people advocate for fair compensation. Weekend coaches work with employees discussing raises and benefits. Successful negotiation increases lifetime earnings significantly. Job search strategy coaching guides comprehensive job search processes. Weekend career coaches help job seekers target opportunities effectively. Efficient job searching reduces unemployment duration. Resume optimization coaching improves job application materials. Weekend coaches help candidates highlight strengths effectively. Better resumes increase interview invitation rates. LinkedIn optimization coaching helps professionals improve online presence. Weekend coaches help people develop compelling LinkedIn profiles. Strong digital presence supports career advancement. Personal branding coaching helps individuals develop distinctive professional identities. Weekend coaches help people clarify and communicate their unique value. Strong personal brands attract opportunities. Financial literacy coaching improves money management skills. Weekend financial coaches help clients understand budgeting and investing. Improved financial literacy reduces money-related stress. Investment coaching helps people develop investment knowledge. Weekend coaches help people understand investment vehicles and risk. Financial literacy and investment knowledge build wealth. Retirement planning consultation addresses long-term financial security. Weekend financial planners help clients plan sustainable retirements. Effective planning reduces retirement anxiety. Tax planning and strategy consultation help people minimize tax burdens. Weekend tax advisors help clients understand tax implications of decisions. Effective tax planning increases financial resources. Debt management coaching helps people eliminate problematic debt. Weekend coaches work with clients developing debt repayment strategies. Debt freedom creates financial breathing room. Credit building and credit repair coaching helps people develop credit. Weekend coaches help clients understanding credit scores and improvement. Improved credit enables better financial opportunities. Student loan consultation helps borrowers manage educational debt. Weekend consultants help students understand repayment options. Clarity around loan management reduces financial stress. Mortgage consulting helps homebuyers understand financing options. Weekend consultants help prospective homeowners make informed decisions. Understanding mortgage options prevents poor financial decisions. Insurance consulting helps people understand coverage needs. Weekend consultants help clients assess insurance adequacy. Proper insurance protects against catastrophic financial loss. Estate planning consultation helps people organize their affairs. Weekend estate planners help clients understand wills and trusts. Proper planning protects families and assets. Small business accounting coaching helps entrepreneurs manage finances. Weekend accountants help business owners understand financial statements. Financial literacy improves business decision-making. Bookkeeping coaching helps people organize financial records. Weekend bookkeepers help individuals and small businesses track finances. Accurate records enable better financial management. Business tax preparation coaching helps business owners minimize taxes. Weekend tax professionals help entrepreneurs understand business tax obligations. Efficient tax management preserves business resources. Nonprofit consulting helps organizations improve operations. Weekend consultants work with nonprofits developing sustainability. Supporting mission-driven organizations creates community benefit. Grant writing for nonprofits helps organizations secure funding. Weekend grant writers help nonprofits access resources. Grant writing directly enables nonprofit missions. Fundraising strategy consulting helps organizations develop donor relationships. Weekend fundraising consultants help nonprofits increase revenue. Improved fundraising expands organizational capacity. Volunteer management consulting helps organizations utilize volunteers effectively. Weekend consultants help nonprofits engage volunteers successfully. Effective volunteer programs amplify organizational impact. Strategic planning facilitation helps organizations clarify direction. Weekend facilitators help organizations envision futures. Strategic clarity enables effective organizational action. Marketing consulting helps businesses develop effective marketing. Weekend marketers help organizations reach customers. Effective marketing drives business growth. Social media strategy consulting helps organizations build online presence. Weekend strategists help organizations develop social media approaches. Strategic social media increases engagement and reach. Website design and development consulting helps organizations create online presence. Weekend developers help organizations establish credible websites. Professional websites build organizational credibility. Branding and logo design consulting helps organizations develop visual identity. Weekend designers help organizations create distinctive brand identities. Strong branding increases recognition and professionalism. Email marketing consulting helps organizations communicate effectively. Weekend email strategists help organizations maximize email effectiveness. Effective email increases customer engagement. Analytics and data interpretation helps organizations understand metrics. Weekend analysts help organizations understand their data. Data-driven decision-making improves business outcomes. Customer service coaching helps organizations improve client interactions. Weekend coaches help staff develop customer service excellence. Superior customer service increases loyalty and revenue. Inventory management consulting helps businesses optimize stock. Weekend consultants help organizations manage inventory efficiently. Proper inventory management reduces costs and waste. Supply chain optimization helps organizations improve sourcing. Weekend consultants help organizations develop efficient supply chains. Supply chain improvements reduce costs and improve reliability. Operations management consulting helps businesses improve efficiency. Weekend operations experts help organizations streamline processes. Operational improvements increase productivity and reduce costs. Quality assurance consulting helps organizations maintain standards. Weekend QA consultants help organizations ensure consistent quality. Quality improvement builds reputation and customer satisfaction. Manufacturing consulting helps production facilities improve operations. Weekend manufacturing experts help facilities increase efficiency. Manufacturing improvements boost competitiveness. Real estate consulting helps people navigate property transactions. Weekend real estate advisors help clients make informed property decisions. Real estate counsel